Hi, it's Vex, and today we want to talk about ejecting Golos as my commander. That's right. Yeah, I have a deck, and I have Golos as the commander. I'm not going to read Golos because that is the most popular commander according to EDH Rec by an insane margin. It used to be Muldrotha. I think I pronounced it right. But Golos is just overtaking Muldrotha, and any other commander is I feel like it is the most powerful commander in EDH. It's a 5-color commander, gets any land, cast it for free. What else do you want? Golos is so powerful that every time I look at this deck, I was like, I don't want to play it. It's too powerful. It does the same thing every time. So let's actually go through what the deck does. This deck is a deck that I built before Golos, actually, with Child of Alara. Right here, it's a 5-color commander. And this is a Gates deck, Maze's End deck. The reason I have Child of Alara because my win condition is lands. Child of Alara, let's actually read this. Costs Wooburg. So it actually costs 1 of each mana instead of Golos, costs 5 generic. Trample, whenever Child of Alara is put into a graveyard from play, destroy all non-land permanents. They can't be regenerated. So when it dies, destroy everything but lands. I had this my commander before the death change rules. So when I was playing Child of Alara, when it died, I had to stick it in the graveyard and keep it there. Couldn't put it back in the command zone if I wanted to use the destroy everything ability. But when Golos came out, I'm like, oh my god. This thing has to go in this deck. Actually, this thing has to be the commander of the deck because Golos can find Maze's End. And essentially, read Maze's End because I think I got ahead of myself too much here. Maze's End ETB tap to add 1 colorless. And then pay 3, tap, return Maze's End to its owner's hand, search your library for a gate card. Put that in the battlefield and shuffle your library. If you control 10 or more gates with different names, you win the game. So, bam, that is a win con right there. It's a very slow win con, which is cool. You know, Commander, back in the day, I built this like 6 years ago when gates were a thing. Maze's End was a thing inside of Dragon's Maze. Commander is much slower format, no smothering tithe and craziness like they have now. Did have Rhystic Study though, so this is a slow deck. You know, I do this, return to my hand, get a gate. You know, slowly win. And sometimes I can get 3 gates in one turn and just win out of nowhere. They're like, oh, you got 7 gates, bam, bam, 8, 9, 10, win. So that's cool. But when I saw Golos, I'm like, first of all, we didn't know how powerful Golos was, as in EDH community. I saw Golos M19, M20 in 2019. I said, okay, forget Child. We're done. Golos, new commander. The problem is with Golos is that it's so powerful, it does the same thing, right? ETBs, it finds you Maze's End always. Or after I played it some more, it didn't find Maze's End anymore. It just said, screw it. It found Field of the Dead. This card. I even have it in foil because I love the card so much. And this is before Field of the Dead became broken, banned, modern, blah, 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 etc. Golos would always do this. ETB, Field of the Dead, ETB. Then it would be like, okay, let's find Thespian stage. Where we copy? Field of the Dead. Boom, another Field of the Dead. Let's find Vesuvia. Where we copy? Field of the Dead. And soon, I was just like, wow, this commander, even if you don't even build around the play free card stuff, you got Field of the Dead. You're playing in a lands deck. Golos, if Golos dies, it just kind of like partially pays for attacks by bringing in land. Comes back, triggers a triple Field of the Dead, makes more zombies, and then your opponent, who doesn't really play that much land destruction, could beast within your Field of the Dead, but you can get it back, you know, with Eternal Witness or whatever. So I just found myself playing that over Maze's End, and I just like, because it's just, if your opponents are playing powerful things, you just can't dirtle around with Maze's End. Like you gotta go Field of the Dead. So I just noticed the gameplay is just Golos, Field of the Dead, Golos, Field of the Dead, Golos, Field of the Dead, and then my play group would be like, oh my god, I can't get rid of Field of the Dead because it's a land. They don't have that much land destruction. Maybe have the 1 of Strip Mine in their deck, Beast Within, Chaos Warp. They're just like, oh, you copied again. Now I need 2 things. So it just became very, very repetitive gameplay, and the Dirtly Maze's End just didn't work as well with Golos as the commander. So I said, you know what? we don't need this powerful commander. It's too powerful. It does whatever it does very efficiently. Let's just put it back in 99, right? We're just going to take it out of our Silverboard commander. We're going to put Child of Alara back in as a command zone. They did change the commander death triggering rules, which is amazing. Actually, it really helps Child of Alara be able to go back in the command zone, because that's the worst part about Child of Alara is when it died, you had to keep it in the graveyard. You couldn't replay it unless you got it back somehow. So I'm very happy they changed that rule. The new rule is when your commander dies, it actually goes to a graveyard, and then you have a choice to put in your command zone or leave it there. So Child of Alara is going back into the command zone, new death trigger, much more powerful than it was before. And we want to go back to our original game plan, Maze's End. Ever since I put Golos in the deck, I want Maze's End once, and every other time is Field of the Dead. That's how powerful Field of the Dead is with Golos. So let's just take Golos out. I think Golos is fine as part of the 99. I see it played everywhere, and people are probably just tired of this guy's ultimate power level. I think Golos would be a little more fair if it costs Wooburg. Instead of the 5 generic. It's so easy to cast. Super, super easy to cast. So Golos is going back in the 99. Bam. So Golos, put these tokens aside here. And I actually haven't upgraded this deck since Theros Beyond Death. I did add a fun of Earl. Earl's not super powerful in EDH, but it's a fun of. And it's been a year, so I think let's just look through the deck. I'm not going to do a full deck tech. If you want to hang around, just check out the deck. I think it's a really fun deck. Maze's End. It doesn't go off very often, but when it does go off, it's super fun. It's a cool alternate win con. It's not like a 2-card combo that wins a game. It takes 11 cards, so you need 10 gates, plus the Maze's End to actually activate its ability and bring it back to your hand. So it is a slow grind. Let's look at the existing deck. These are cards I'm actually cutting. So this is actually a huge upgrade. Before Ikoria and the this land, the Ketria Triome. Is that right? Yeah, the Ketria Triome was this Triome, I believe. I had Frontier Bivouac, however you pronounce it. So we got some major upgrades for the deck. I don't think it increases the power level because I'm insanely decreasing it by just taking Golos out of the command zone. So let's put the Maze's End back to where the gate section here. And let's actually look at the deck, the cards that are staying, and these are cards that used to be in the deck and they are leaving. So we'll just do a little upgrade video because I think it's pretty fun. So of course you have Golos, you have gate fetchers, open the gates, gate creeper vine, district guide, secure this route. So these get gates in your hand or onto the battlefield, very good. Solvent Scrying, another good one. Realms Uncharted, gets you 4 lands, but 2 of them enter the graveyard. So you gotta be careful of this because they might exile your graveyard, exile your gates, but it can get your gates. Or it can get Field of Dead, Vesuva, etc. Reap and Sow. As a note, if you Vesuva a gate, it doesn't count towards an extra gate because you need 10 unique gate names. They only have 11 unique gate names, so you have 1 to spare. Attempt with Discovery, get some lands. Basically, these are fetching lands of any type, not just basic land types. These are fetching gates right here. Hour of Promise gets 2 gates. Now this Intervention gets a bunch of stuff to your hand. Escape Shift, can you sack non-gates for gates? Direct Crop Rotation, get a gate right into play, or Field of Dead if necessary. Again, I'm not saying Field of Dead is a bad card to play per se. It is there for the games where you're just way behind. You need a catch-up mechanism. Field of Dead is really great for that. So it does have its places. It just doesn't need to be part of your command zone. Because basically with Golos, Field of Dead is always part of your command zone. That's the problem I had. And you have cards like Explore, actually play additional lands, Explore, Growth Spiral. Earl, we mentioned. Earl is like a Growth Spiral that gains you 3 life, except for it can just do, come back from the graveyard with a 6/6 body. Urban Evolution, they came out with a Eureka Moment, which is like a mini Urban Evolution in Strixhaven, so we're going to put that in. Life from Alone, get your stuff back, because sometimes they go to graveyard. Wargate, Gets you a permanent. If you pay X is 0, it gets you a land, which is great. Expedition map, Knight of the Reliquary, sack a Force of Plains, get a land, get a gate. Demonic Tutor, yes, I've Demonic Tutor for lands and gates before. That's what it's there for, actually. Demonic Tutoring for your silly lands. We have some cool enchantments to help keep you alive. But remember, Child of Alara will blow up everything, so we try to limit these permanents to a very minimum to not have too much collateral damage when Child of Alara blows up. So this is in the deck before Golos became the commander, so I just kept him in the deck. Exploration, Propaganda, Ghostly Prison, Sphere of Safety, so something like protection, make him pay extra mana to attack you. A pet card in mind, Profane Procession. You just get to exile target creature, you're making a lot of mana. This is a lands deck, so this turns into land too. Of course, Smothering Tithe, why not? Rhystic Study, why not? Guild Summit, more card draw with gates. Of course, I gotta have it. And then we have some removal spells here. Cyclonic Rift, we're playing every color. Again, why not? Supreme Verdict, Cleansing Nova, Austere Command, Merciless Eviction. So this deck is all about grinding. And we're actually adding more board wipes. I think we're increasing the board wipes all the way up to 10. Because Child of Alara is also a board wipe in the command zone. Because all we need are our lands. So Child of Alara is there. Then I just have single point removal that's just really efficient. Anguish Unmaking, Swords of Plowshares. This is our backup win condition. If somebody destroys or exiles 2 of our gates, we just literally cannot win with our gate deck. Torment of Hellfire, player removal is what it is. Play our Singleton Artifact Ramp, Soul Ring. We do have mass removal, so we do not have an Arcane Signet in this deck. It actually is in the pile being taken out because we're adding so much removal. Eternal Witness, get things back. These are just some value creatures. Remnant Excavator, get lands back. We need to get those lands back just in case they fall into the graveyard. Tireless Tracker, because I play against mill decks and stuff like that too. So Tireless Tracker, some value here. Tatiova, more draw card value. Mina and Den, retriggers landfall, more value, additional land, and it's a red card. I want to add a red card. There's like very little red cards in here, so I add this one. It's cool. Then we have our gates itself. There's 11 gates. Maze's End is not a gate. I wish it was, but it's not. Gateway Plaza is a brand new gate introduced in Guilds of Ravnica. Then we have our 10 guild gates here, all in foil, of course. Plaza of Harmony makes any color mana of the gates that you have. So we have a Rainbow Lands, Plaza of Harmony, Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Shocklands, all green Shocklands. This is a very base green deck, and then it's basically a Bant deck with a little red and a little black splashed in. So we have all of the Shard Tri-lands. Well, only 2. Because we used to have a bunch of them. We took 4 out, I think. Seaside Citadel, Jungle Shrine. Essentially, we took any of the tri-lands that produce 2 of our colors. Again, this is a more casual. I guess when I first made it, I wanted to make it more casual because all the lands like ETB tapped, so it's just fun. I could just play other lands that come and play untapped or just dual lands or whatever. Scattered Grove, a forest, irrigated plain, farmland. Cycling can be fetched because it's a forest plains. Fetch with like Misty Rainforest and stuff like that. Tolarian West, Talaria West. So this actually transmute for any land like a gate. And you get your Field of Dead package here. Your Field of Dead, Vesuva, Thespian Stage, copy. Basic lands. I upgraded the art. I didn't really upgrade the card. I just put different Strixhaven art in there. Kaldheim art. So let's just go to the upgrades. This is what I'm taking out. So I'll show you what I'm taking out. Taking out 3 of these, not Triumphs, the Tri-lands, I guess, here, and putting in 4 Triumphs. So good replacement there. Reflecting Pool. I really liked this card in Commander a long time ago. Except for this just doesn't do very much because if this is your 1 of 2 lands, it just does very little to get you your extra colored mana. I think Exotic Orchard's better, so I took that out. Taking some fetch lands out. Essentially, we used to have all the green fetches right here, but I just wanted to have less fetch lands. I mean, we're shuffling deck enough, so we're actually taking these 2 fetch lands out and putting in Flooded Strand, so we have our Bant color fetches. Basic lands coming out, stuff like that. You're like, what are we replacing this with? Oh, I know I've been talking without showing you lands that we're replacing it with. 4 Triomes. Essentially, each of these Triomes produces 2 of the Bant colors. So you're like, why do you have Rugen Triome when it doesn't produce green, but it produces blue and white? It can be fetched out. So those 4 Triomes are replacing those. We put in more basic lands. We actually we only had basic forest in the deck. And we're just like, wow, we just need more basic lands. Plains and islands, so we added 2 new basic lands. We added that Flooded Strand we're talking about. And then, I can't believe it, this is like when I was not that great of a deck builder. I did not have Bojuka Bog. Now, granted, this deck has like tons of cards to search for non-basic lands. And I did not have a Bojuka Bog. That's insane to me. So I added in. I need Bojuka Bog. This is my ultra staple of black. I took out this forest here. Add the World Tree. That's like a no-brainer. The World Tree is very powerful. It's like Chromatic Lantern on crack. So we added that in. All right, those are land swaps that are occurring. These are some cards that we're taking out. Burgeoning. I feel like it's really good in the early game. But in the late game, it just does nothing. It doesn't do enough. Right, it's Flourishing. Don't give other players extra land drops or cards, so I took that out. Again, we're trying to take out more permanents. We took out Arcane Signet because, look, I feel like when it first came out, it was a staple of every 2+ color deck and every monocolor deck except for green. And my stance has changed because if you're playing any green in any colored deck, I'd rather just have a Farseek. They make Triomes now that produce 3 colors mana. Before they made Triomes, I was like, Arcane Signet and auto include in 5-color decks. But now they make Triomes. You're playing main green. Just do a Farseek. If you have Farseek, you can do Nature's Lore. If you have Nature's Lore, you can do 3 visits. Essentially, you could just grab most of your colors in a more stable mana base, like in your land, versus doing an artifact. Commander Sphere, its date's gone. Let's just admit it. It's done. It's not good anymore. Gear Pair Ori, again, it helps players, so don't want to. I mean, it does do additional land drops, but it helps players. So let's just take that out. Crucible Worlds, we want to keep it in, but again, back to Alara means try having less permanents. Horn Greed, we don't want to help everybody out again. Wayward Sword Truth, it just wasn't pulling its weight. Take that out. I know it does. You can do additional land. Uvenwall Hydra. It's just, this is a very expensive land tutor. Again, it wasn't pulling its weight, so I was like, okay. The Gitrog Monster is coming out. I really like this card, but it does opposite of what you want it to do because it makes you sack lands, and you don't have as much graveyard recursion in this deck. So you don't want to be like going to your last land, sacrificing a gate. Like, you just don't want to do it. So taking it out. Courser of Crufix, it's a great card, but again, try to have less permanents. Kiora, it just wasn't pulling its weight. It's dying too fast. So it's just like a very expensive Explorer. Lord Windgrace, again, I don't want to discard cards. Don't have that much recursion, so take that out. Windgrace's Judgment, we're taking that out too because that's clunky removal. I thought this thing was amazing. I think it's still really good, but 5 mana, I'd rather just have Pinpoint removal and Maelstrom Pulse, more clunky removal. So we're replacing all of that with more board wipes. Toxic Deluge. This is before the Deluge reprint, so I just like, Deluge is way too expensive. I was going to wait for the reprint to buy it and include in my decks. It's been reprinted. Double Masters, I bought a bunch. It's great. Time Wipe, it's good. We do have some creatures, so we want to bounce creatures to our hand. Onto Inversion, increase our land count. Mono Double Face card, excellent. So we have additional board wipes there. Oh, more Gates of Blaze. That's just in theme. I just want to put it there. It's not. If you want to play for real, don't. Well, if you want to play for real, don't play Gates. That's just very dirtily. But Gates of Blaze is just a fun card. I love the art too. And Blasphemous Act. So we are adding some red cards in here. Red board wipes. Very good. Speaking of that Farseek, I did replace Arcane Signet with that Farseek right there. I did not have it in the deck because this search for essentially, land types. Doesn't search for gates, but it's very good Arcane Signet replacement with the Triomes. That Eureka moment I was talking about, that like is like a mini urban evolution, but it's an instant. We have Land Searcher, Elvish Reclaimer. I know it does sack a land, but it does get you your gates, and you don't have to. It's optional. You don't, obviously you don't have to activate it, but it's good at what it does. Vampiric Tutor, yes, like Demonic Tutor, searches for a land. Yes, it's there, search for a land. I know. Reshape the Earth. New Commander Legends card. You can search for 10 lands, so you can search for all 10 gates all at once. Basically, this card says put all your gates onto the battlefield. Put Maze's End onto the battlefield. Next turn, you activate Maze's End, you win. So it gives your opponent one turn to do anything. And then we have Battlegated Recovery. Very, very good green Moldo face card. So, and it can get your lands that you sack back. There's a little graveyard creation, but not like a whole lot. We have Heroic Intervention. Actually goes great with some of our board wipes, right? We go time wipe, and then in response to time wipe, we do Heroic Intervention, or we do Heroic Intervention first, see if it resolves. If it does, we time wipe. So very good with some board removal. It doesn't work with Toxic Deluge, unfortunately. We have a Sika of the God Tree. I think this is a fun of. I'm adding it because it's a fun of. I'm not gonna lie. Our legendary creatures you control can tap for any mana. I'm basically playing it for the Prismatic Bridge. So at the beginning of your upkeep, I have a deck tech on this too. Reveal cards from top of your library until you reveal a creature or planeswalker card, which is there's only a few creatures. Put that card to the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. I just do it for fun. I like this card. This card could also be your tertiary commander. I think Golos over here will not be my secondary commander. This might be my secondary commander because it's a 5-color one. And then, last but not least, Wandering Archaic from Strixhaven proper. Wow, this card's amazing. I mean, if you've ever played against it, it is like insane tax. Like you thought Ristic Study paying the 1. Oh man, our Wandering Archaic paying the 2. I mean, they don't have to pay 2. I get a copy of the spell. So imagine you play this, they play Cultivate, and you're like, can I have the Cultivate? So it's excellent. So these cards go into this deck. I'm very excited to replay this deck because I haven't played in a while because Golos was just too much. I feel like Golos was too much of a commander, too good. Everybody's playing it. It just ruined the fun. So now back to Child of Alara. And if you look on this deck box, actually, it does say Alara because I did this deck box before I even before Golos was even printed. So now we're actually back to where we used to be. So that is wonderful. And I'm actually really excited to play this deck. I feel like it's just not overpowered. Even with these dirty cards trying to do Maze's End stuff, like Field of Dead was just so powerful. Golos was so powerful. His ability was so powerful. And now you include World Tree. Like imagine this. I bet you this is what Golos players play on turn 5 all the time, right? Golos, turn 5, World Tree. Now you have 6 mana. Next turn you play like untap mana, activate Golos' free ability. You don't even care about colors and lands you have. You get the World Tree. The World Tree does, if you sacrifice it, get a Sika. Don't sacrifice it. Sika's not worth it. Because you get front side of Sika, not the Prismatic Bridge. Alright, so now we are back to the commander we want to be. I believe this commander is super fun. I know sometimes your opponents don't enjoy getting their boards wiped all the time, but you know what? Sometimes it's necessary. Anyways, that's all we have for today. Enjoy the video. Enjoy me explaining why I'm ejecting Golos as my commander. Having a new commander. Give the video a thumbs up. Smash the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. I do have the link the new deck in the description below if you want to make a Maze's End Child of Alara deck or Maze's End 5-color deck. You can put any 5-color commander. It doesn't really matter, but I believe this is one of the better commanders besides Golos for this deck. And so with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day.